remember, it wasn't great for Japanese Americans after World War II because, people hated Japan. So there was discrimination. So I remember all the struggles. Really, every time I come back, because I look at the hills, I go to see the graves. They're up here at the Kohala Jodo Mission. My whole family's up there. So I go up and look at the graves and I remember all the struggles and yet the triumphs of this kind of immigrant family, coming on a boat. They're like third or fourth class, so they're way down in the bottom of the boat, sailing from Japan to Hawaii, so that must have taken months. So anyway, I remember that, and I think, and I'm proud to see, the kids, every year more kids come out of Kohala High School, and I'm proud to remember that, that was my class. I was this class valedictorian, and I remember that. And thinking of, and it's so wonderful to see the families, that ohana that are still here and making a life for themselves here. My father, because he was so poor, remember, he was the last of that immigrant family. He didn't have enough money to go to college, so he had to work as a plumber's assistant here in Kohala for 6 years. Then he went to UH Manoa, and then he got into USC's dental school. But because he was there, unfortunately, when Pearl Harbor was attacked, December 7, 1941, he was one of 120 students at USC that were just kicked out because they were Japanese American. They lost their credits, and luckily for my father, he was able to get a voluntary pass from the military, and he fled on the train to Chicago. So he wasn't interned. But right after a bunch of them fled, they cracked down and they put away the 120,000 people from California, Oregon, and Washington, and Arizona. So, we consider my father lucky because he escaped the camps. He spent time in Chicago. He took classes at Loyola University, was a postal clerk, and then got readmitted to University of Maryland Dental School. So he completed his degree, became a dentist, and as I said, we come back to the beginning. He came back here, and he practiced dentistry for 30 years. But he told us that story of what had happened to him. And of course, we heard about the internment of those other Japanese Americans. About 1,000 were taken from Hawaii, but the mass relocation was the West Coast. And I'll give you a good news about his story. Just this year, on April 1st, 2022, which is not a good day because it's April Fool's Day, University of Southern California gave him an honorary bachelor's degree, and they apologized to the 120 students that they had expelled for no reason. Remember, they got no due process of law now. No notice, no hearing. They must have just got a letter saying you're expelled. Yeah, so we went to LA for the, it was a tribute, they created a tribute rock garden as well as gave the degrees. They haven't found everybody yet. They only found about 40-something of the 120 they expelled. Because some people, just disappear, and also some people probably don't want to come back and deal with USC again. Other California schools have also done that. They've given honorary degrees to the people they expelled. So, it's a small reconciliation of a wrong that was done. It's a civil rights violation to people, that happened to. So it's a small reconciliation, but it's something. My father, of course, passed away already, so this is posthumous. He would not, he's not here to get his degree, so too bad. 1996. Yes, that's right. That's what people are saying, better late than never. It took 80 years. Just for you folks, you're very young. But, 80 years is even old for us to hear about, that somebody can do something 80 years later.